Yeah, they sure are good, especially when you haven't had anything. They're real good. Alright, ultraviolet minus voodoo. Of course, we're just doing integration now. Now, I can still throw some tank problems in here if you want me to.
No.
Did you talk about the luminous of uniform density?
What?
The luminous of uniform density?
What about it?
That were on the test. I didn't understand how to do this.
I don't think we did. I didn't know there was a question on there. I thought I went through it.
I had 3, they were with like 8
Okay,
points.
I'll adjust it. Don't worry. I'll look at it and see. I thought I had those off of there. I thought I just put Centroid.
Actually, yeah, I had no centroid questions on there. So
Huh?
I didn't have any centroid
That
questions
figures
on
you
there.
probably got the ones with the, it probably regenerated with the other ones. I didn't know they were on there. Okay, I'll fix it. All right, whenever we have the antiderivative of u dv, that's going to look like ultraviolet minus voodoo. Ultraviolet minus voodoo. So you got to pick your U and your dV. You got to pick whichever one you want. I mean, pick it and then put it in this formula and then work it out. Sometimes you have to do it 2 or 3 times. Give you an example. Antiderivative of x e to the x dx. Okay? Now with derivatives, you would do first times derivative second plus second times derivative first, but you can't do that with integration. You have to do integration by parts. So in this case, you want to pick, dv to be e to the x because you can take the antiderivative of e to the x and it's e to the x. So here we're going to make dv equal e to the x dx. And u is going to be equal to x. Like so. Now, once you get u and dv, you just do the antiderivative and you do the derivative. The derivative of u is 1. du is 1. And v is e to the x. And then you take this and plug into ultraviolet minus voodoo. So u is x, v is e to the x, minus the antiderivative of u, which is x, v, sorry. My u looks like a v. V is e to the x, and du is 1. And of course, the antiderivative of e to the x is, so x e to the x minus e to the x, and you can factor out e to the x, and you get e to the x, x minus 1. So that's an example, and we're going to do these till you're sick of them.
I'm already there. Are we good to go?
No, sorry. You could have brought drinks,
I got mine right here.
Okay, that's all that matters.
There's water fountain now over there for the rest of it.
I left my wallet outside.
Oh yeah.
Really? I mean, really? All right, next one. How about you trying the antiderivative of x squared, natural log of x, dx? Try that one. You usually want to make your dv the easiest one to take the antiderivative of. How much is that gonna drink? Anybody know downstairs? Good God, I remember when they were 25 cents. I need 60 cents. I have to go downstairs and get it out of my truck. Alright. Ultraviolet minus voodoo. So I would make u equal natural log of x, and I would make dv equal to x squared dx. Now what's the derivative of the natural log of x? Huh? 1 over x. And the antiderivative of x squared is x to the third over 3. Ultraviolet, natural log of x, times v, x to the third over 3, minus the antiderivative, voodoo, x to the third over 3, du is 1 over x dx. This is a whole lot better than tanks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just come on in whenever. That's fine. You know. X to the third over 3, natural log of x. Well, I'm going to pull the 1/3 out and go ahead and cancel that x. That'd be x squared. So minus 1/3, the antiderivative of x squared dx. And that's going to be x to the third over 3. Natural log of x minus 1/3. X to the third over 3. Plus c. And the final answer is x to the third over 3. Natural log of x minus what? X to the third over 9. Plus c. You could factor out an x to the third over 3 if you wanted to. X to the third over 3. And that would give you what? Natural log of x. I don't know why this thing's not writing good. Minus what? 1/3. And plus c. I didn't factor out. So all you have to remember is ultraviolet minus voodoo. Our machines don't take debit cards, do they?
I know the ones over at Pendleton, I'm not so sure about you.
We're gonna have to work on that.
I thought they did.
Do they?
Also,
Not there.
The ones that, those on campus, do ones here.
They don't take debit cards, they take credit cards.
they'll take it.
I've tried that.
My debit card won't work.
Anderson campus sucks. I guess you have to trade off with not having to go up Cardiac Hill and have plenty of parking.
Jesus. That kills me.
Yep.
It wouldn't be so bad for it, so bad overweight. You just, every day I get that, look up how. I get to the top of it, wheezing, have asthma.
Oh, man. All right, V is equal to what? 1. And du is equal to 1 over x. Ultraviolet minus 2. So natural log of x times 1, so that's natural log of x, minus the antiderivative of 1 dx, natural log of x minus x. We good with that one? I don't think I did. Let me check my answer. Yeah, I did. Should be x, natural log of x minus x.
You put a 1 for V,
Yeah. There it is. There it is. So that should be Vx, right? That should be x here, right? Then that would be x squared, wouldn't it?
There's an X there, but you have to multiply by 1 over X.
That's why I should have stick with my notes. Natural log of x times x. Natural log of x times x minus, okay, this would be x, 1 over x dx, right? Sorry, I was talking. X times 1 over x dx. And that's x over x, which comes out to be 1, which is x. There we go. Now let's try this one. Oh, excuse me. I don't know why Bojangles put their Bojangles down here. I would have put Bojangles right here around this campus if I would. I mean, you have Lakeside, and then you have Tri-County Tech, and they put theirs down there at the bottom of the hill. Didn't understand that. V is equal to what? Negative cosine? So, ultraviolet minus voodoo. U is x squared. V is negative cosine of x. Minus negative cosine of x du 2x dx. So we got to do it again. I'd pull that negative 2x out. I mean, yeah, negative 2. Negative 2, I'd pull it out. Might help you out a little bit. Going to be negative x squared cosine of x. And that negative 2x, or negative 2, will make that a positive 2 antiderivative cosine of x, and put an x out front, dx. Let's see if we can copy that. Of course not. So u is equal to x, dv is equal to cosine of x, dx, du is equal to dx, and v is equal to derivative, I meant the antiderivative of the cosine is the what? Sine. X, sine of x, minus the antiderivative, sine of x, dx. Bring all this down. And what is the antiderivative of the sine of x? Negative cosine, which will make that positive. So your final answer should be negative x squared cosine of x plus 2x sine of x plus cosine of x. Billy. Make sure I got the right answer. Negative x squared cosine of x plus 2 x sine of x plus cosine of x. All right, I'm gonna let y'all do the next one on your own. See what you can come up with. Better write small. Antiderivative of e to the x sine of x dx. Got biscuits. Compliment to one of your fellow students, not me. Because I would have got McDonald's. Always make e to the x dv because that's easy to take the integral of. Kind of a hint. hiccups when I eat, when I don't have it. My mama has the same condition. She'll eat something and not have something to drink, she'll get the hiccups. That's why I haven't eaten my biscuit. Y'all finished yet? So I'd make dv equal to e to the x dx, and make u equal sine of x dx. I'm sorry, sine of x. Derivative of sine is the negative cosine. Just cosine, isn't it? And d is equal to e to the x. So that's going to give us sine of x, e to the x, minus the antiderivative of e to the x, cosine x dx. Start it over. dv is equal to e to the x dx, and u is equal to cosine of x. v is equal to e to the x. The derivative of the cosine is what? Negative sine. So that's going to be e to the x sine of x minus antiderivative of voodoo, which is e to the x, negative sine x dx. So that negative can come out and make that a what? Positive. And now we do this again, but we're going to find out. We can do it one more time, I believe. One more time. Be e, let's see, dx or dv is equal to e to the x, and u is equal to the sine of x. v is equal to e to the x, and the sine is cosine, right? Huh? I'm sorry, what?
That should be the one that you can do it with. Like bring it over to the other side.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
E to the sine of x. Yeah, we can bring that over. This can come over. I forgot to write the beginning of it. E antiderivative of e to the x sine of x dx is equal to e to the x sine of x plus antiderivative of e to the x sine of x dx. And this is the same as this, so what can we do? Should be a minus, should it not?
Yeah, it should be a minus.
Because the derivative of the cosine is the negative sign, it should be a negative. Should it not?